Graptopetalum Purple Delight, aka Snow White or Crystal, is a fantastic hybrid that resulted from crossing Graptopetalum paraguayense and Graptopetalum amethystinum. Not only is this plant stunningly beautiful, it's also hardy and perfect for beginners. Purple Delight has a trailing habit. Individual rosettes can grow to about 12 cm in diameter and 20 cm tall. Multiple offsets will form, and if the plant has enough space, it will start trailing and forming a dense carpet of purple rosettes. The color of this succulent can vary during different seasons and will also largely depend on its growing conditions. The deepest purple is likely to come through during the cooler months and when Purple Delight has a good exposure to sunlight. In summer, the light lilac and pink will be dominant. It is not unusual for different shades of pink and purple to come through all at once. Another very attractive feature is the white powdery substance covering the leaf surface called the farina. Not only does it give the plant a softer look, it also acts like a sunscreen and protects from sunburn. Graptopetalum Purple Delight is a sun lover and will need a certain amount of sunlight to grow well. It will tolerate bright shade or filtered light outdoors, but it is likely to grow leggy and with minimal color. Moreover, it will be more susceptible to fungal disease and sunburn if it suddenly moved in direct sun. Purple Delight is not a good indoor plant and will start to struggle in a month or so, as it's simply not bright enough in an average house for this succulent. It is more likely than not that Purple Delight would eventually die indoors. This succulent can be grown in pots as well as frost-free gardens. As this plant is fairly fast growing, it will need repotting regularly. In the garden, it should be planted where water doesn't pool after rain. Raised gardens or slopes are ideal. The best potting medium for succulents in pots is a good quality succulent potting mix. It should have the right pH, good drainage, and will ensure your Purple Delight grows well. In the garden, you can get away with planting straight into soil, but these succulents will grow better if a bit of potting mix is mixed in with the soil to break it apart and help the thin roots spread. It tolerates being overwatered or left out in the rain as long as the potting mix is well draining and the pot has holes. During dry spells or when grown under cover, water once the potting mix dries out completely from previous watering. These guys are drought tolerant and will be okay even when left dry for extended periods, but will grow better when watered during droughts. Temperature-wise, the Purple Delight grows best in frost-free parts of the world, but should be okay during light frosts. When exposed to frost for longer periods, it can suffer frost burns. If snow and frost is normal during winter in your climate, it may be best to bring this succulent indoors for the duration. In summer, during heat waves, potted plants will greatly benefit from being placed in shade or under shade cloth, as the Purple Delight may suffer sunburn when in very hot direct sun. Graptopetalum Purple Delight is easily propagated from leaves and cuttings. It will also grow from seed, but to me it's pointless to try and raise seed when leaf propagation works so well, as seeds can take very long time to grow. When you want to create loads of new plants, leaf propagation is the way to go and can easily be done by anyone. The success rate is very high, and when done right, the great majority of leaves will produce a new plant. To pull leaves off, simply gently tuck to the side. You'll want the whole leaf to come off from the stalk without breaking it. Leaves can then be placed either straight on top of potting mix or left in a tray in a dry, bright spot until new growth and roots appear. After a few leaves start growing, they can be potted up. New growth should appear within about 3 weeks of the leaf being pulled off. It is unlikely leaves will grow well during winter, especially if your climate is cold. It's always best to propagate leaves in spring or summer. For more instant results, cuttings can also be propagated very easily. bigger or smaller rosettes will grow well. After cutting them off with a clean pair of scissors, leave the cuttings to dry for a day so the wound heals. This will prevent any diseases getting into the plant through the fresh cut. Roots should appear within 2 to 3 weeks. Again, best time to propagate is spring and summer, but if you don't get frost in winter, early autumn is good too. During heat waves, make sure the cuttings and leaves are shaded from super strong sun. Once your leaf babies or cuttings start getting root bound, repot into a bigger pot so the plant can keep growing and producing new offsets. Graptopetalum Purple Delight is susceptible to all the usual succulent pests such as aphids, mealybugs, snails, slugs, caterpillars and grasshoppers. Be particularly vigilant around flowering time, as this is when aphids are at their worst and spread from flowers to the foliage, causing unsightly marks. Purple Delight usually flowers around springtime, though this can vary depending on where in the world you are. The flowers grow out of the rosettes on tall stalks. Each stalk can have well over 20 individual tiny flowers. Purple Delight is a safe, non-toxic succulent to have around pets and little humans. Despite there being no toxic properties to this succulent, we do not recommend eating it. And that's it for today. If you have anything to add to this video or have a question, you can leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer. If you'd like to learn more about succulents, hit the subscribe button or go to succulentgrowingtips.com. We also sell this plant in Australia, and if you'd like to buy one, you can go to firmfarmplants.com.au. Thank you very much for watching.